Want to know how to fix all Smash Balloon plugin errors within WordPress? Now I'm going to teach you a series of simple, straightforward steps to correct any error that may be appearing on your WordPress website. I will show you some steps that will guide you throughout the correction process, without you having to waste your time looking for other solutions. Everything in the most didactic and complete way, without the need for any advanced knowledge. Here's a very important step that you cannot neglect. Use good website hosting. 90% of the problems we encounter on WordPress sites are always related to the hosting company. In some cases, the PHP version is out of date. In other cases, PHP does not have an extension allowed or features are missing. Therefore, we recommend Hostinger servers so that you can use PHP in your hosting company, regardless of which country in the world you are in. They have multi-language support, and they serve the entire world. They have a specific plan for WordPress with management, and it is one of the best plans for WordPress. We tested several sites within these plans. From the initial plan, you can host from 100 websites, and they are compatible with absolutely everyone. All the plugins we have tested to date, we have not found any plugin that does not work within the Hostinger environment. They also have a system within the panel to check viruses within WordPress installations, make updates within the panel, and check plugin compatibility, which will help you resolve most problems. There's a link in the description, and if you're purchasing an annual plan or longer, use our link to support our channel. One very important thing, as Rochinger has a money-back policy if you don't like the product, you can simply do the following. By hosting from Rochinger, install a WordPress site. Install all the themes and plugins you have on your current website. Check if it will work. If it works, you know the problem is with your website hosting and it's time for you to migrate. All you have to do is bring your website to Hostinger. Even Hostinger does the migration for you free of charge. All you have to do is join one of their plans. I recommend Cloud Startup for sites that need more performance, and call the support team, and they will help you with the migration process. Before making any changes, you must back up your environment. It is very important to have a backup of your website. Even if it has a problem, make a backup of the website to its current state. You can ask your hosting company's support team, or you can hire Hostinger, link in the description, and you can have their automatic backup. Backing up on the Hostinger panel is very simple to do. I'm going to teach here, and almost every hosting company is the same. Within your hosting company's dashboard, you go to Files, and you will have the Backups option. Coming here to the Backups option, I can click on Create New Backup. I come to Select. It warns me that it will overwrite the previous backup. Continue, and it starts creating my backup. I have to wait until this backup is complete, so I can start making the changes that will fix the problems with the plugins and themes within my website. Okay, backup completed. Now you can go to your website, make the necessary changes. If you have a problem, it's very simple to restore the backup. You can come here to restore the website. Select the date of the backup you made. Click on Restore, and it carries out the entire process. This said hosting. If you are using another hosting company, just contact technical support, and they will help you resolve the issue and perform a restoration if necessary. This is the first step to solving problems. In fact, if you have a problem and don't have any new information on the site, you can try restoring old backups to see if it fixes the problem you're getting. A very simple step that can solve many problems is to disable the CDN network if you use it on your WordPress. Some plugins and themes may have problems with the content that is available via CDN. Networks such as Cloudflare, CDN Max, among others, can be temporarily or permanently disabled to resolve issues with your WordPress site. So in our example, I'm going to go to Cloudflare and disable the CDN network. I'll click Edit on my DNS entry and disable the proxy. By clicking Save, I disable the CDN service, and in about 30 to 40 minutes, I can try again to access my website. Changing the PHP version can be one of the important steps in fixing a problem on your WordPress website. Regardless of whether the problem is with a theme or a plugin, the PHP version must be compatible with it. Let's go. Accessing the dashboard of my hosting system, I can go to Advanced, the PHP configuration, and choose the version of PHP I want to use. Each hosting company has a different panel, but they all have the option to change PHP versions. Currently, PHP 7.4 is the most compatible with all WordPress themes and plugins. PHP 8.0 performs well within WordPress, but it still has some incompatibilities with some themes and plugins that the developers haven't updated yet. So, we recommend that you switch to PHP version 7.4. Click Update so that it applies the change. Wait about 3 minutes and try again to access your website, remembering to clear the cache every time you make a change. Increasing the memory of WordPress itself is also a step that solves many of the problems. Increase the memory available for WordPress. The first thing you have to do is check with your hosting company what the memory limit is available on your server. The one we are using is a plan specifically for WordPress. We have 3 gigabytes of memory. I allocated 1 gigabyte for PHP, and now I will also increase the memory available for WordPress. So I come here to Files, File Manager. If you host your website elsewhere, you can access the file manager through your hosting company's dashboard. If you want to change your hosting company, I recommend that you click on the link in the description to get a discount on annual or larger plans within hosting. Access the file manager. Go to Public HTML. WP includes. Look for the file called Default Constants. Let's look for the file. We find it here. Here is the default constants.php file. Let's double click on the file. Let's scroll and here where WordPress sets the memory limits. We will put this memory limit as 1024. Again, change it below also to 1024, and below here we have WordPress multisites. We are not using this structure. But if we were, we could also change it to 1024. Let's save, and that's it. From this moment, WordPress will be able to use more of the system's available RAM, which solves many of the problems with plugins that require greater use of RAM memory. Checking the PHP extensions that your plugins and themes require can help you solve many of the problems as well. Here within the hosting panel, we go to PHP configuration. We go to PHP extension, and we check the extensions that are already natively active, and you cannot deactivate them. And below are several other extensions that you can optionally activate. Most hosting companies do not have this type of extension available, which is why we chose Hostinger as a partner. Let's go. I'll give you an example, and this is just an example. You can use this base for any plugin you use. You go to Google and search for the name of the plugin and the PHP extensions it needs, or read the documentation. So, for example here, Elementor. He has the PHP ZLIB extension as a necessity. He needs this extension active. Coincidentally, it is also an extension required by WordPress, so it's obvious that our site has the extension active. But it's important for you to know that all of your plugins have PHP extensions that they need to work. A plugin can depend on an extension. Another plugin may depend on another. So it's important that you have all necessary extensions active. How do you find this out? Talking to the plugin developer or reading the documentation. Generally, most hosting companies come with all the necessary extensions active, but there may be cases where you have to test to see if your plugin depends on any extension. Additional PHP. One way to fix problems is also by changing the permissions of the folders where your plugin was installed. In many cases, a person unzips a zip file directly into the WordPress folder where the plugin is located, and this changes the permissions and folder owner, causing critical errors within WordPress. Let's go back to our hosting company's dashboard. I came to Files, File Manager, access our File Manager, our File Manager, go to Public HTML, access WP Content, go to the Plugins folder, and here we find all the plugins installed within WordPress. Note that they have specific folder permissions. This is the folder permission pattern within the web. If your directory is not with these permissions, you can right-click, you can come to Permissions, and change the permissions. Note that the permission is 755. If I check any box, I change the permissions. The default is 755. Check the recursive, directories, and files option and click Update. Important: if you want to keep the original state of the folder, before making the change, you can right-click, come to Archive, select the file format, and it will create a backup for you with the original state. Here the permission is different, but within this zip file, the permissions remain the same as they are on your screen. Deactivating WordPress plugins is also a step that usually solves some problems. It may be that what you have within your environment is a compatibility problem and not a specific problem with the plugin. WordPress is a huge ecosystem, and sometimes some developers develop plugins that conflict with other plugins. The best way to find out if the plugin you want to use conflicts with any other plugin by coming to the WordPress dashboard and deactivating the plugins. Clicking on Deactivate the plugin is simply deactivated. However, this has a small problem. In some cases, you will not be able to open the WordPress dashboard. If your case is a case where WordPress doesn't even open the panel, I'll teach you how to deactivate the plugin in another way. Open your hosting company's panel. Go to Files and File Manager or File Manager. Click on your File Manager, and when you open it, you will have access the HTML public folder. Access the HTML public folder. On some servers, this folder may be named www. Go to WP Contents, the Plugins folder, enter it. And inside the Plugins folder, you will see that you will have folders with the names of the plugins you are using. For example, here I have a plugin called Full Wide Page Templates. What I'm going to do is deactivate this plugin, but not here. If my WordPress wasn't opening, I could just rename by clicking with the right button, going to rename, and I change the name of the folder. I will just add an underline at the end and click on rename. Change the name of the folder, and when I come to WordPress and update, I will see that the plugin has been deactivated. So if this plugin was causing a problem in my WordPress installation, I would have deactivated it, and my WordPress would be working again, thus letting me know that this plugin is a problem. If this plugin has been deactivated, as I did now, and even though WordPress didn't work again, I must continue deactivating the other plugins, renaming the folder, or deactivating them through the panel until WordPress works again. The moment WordPress starts working again, I will know which plugin caused the problem. So I'm going to go back to the folder here and return the plugin folder name to the original. Bring the name of the plugin folder back to the original, removing the underline so that the name of the plugin folder remains as it should be. I update my plugins page, and now I can activate the plugin again. All the others, except the plugin that created the error within my site. This way I will know which of the plugins I have within my environment that generated an error in WordPress. Time is money. If you need a team to solve problems with your applications, your infrastructure, and your web application, contact us. The link in the description has our calendar open to the public with hours and days that you can select. Check out and receive our exclusive service from a bunch of technology mad people for a client who needs it. Your time is worth a lot to us. If you don't want to, that's okay. Just watch the video until the end, and I'm sure you'll be able to solve your problem. If you want to make money solving WordPress problems, there's a link in the description that will take you to the best training there is. I want you to think about the following. What do you think is most likely? That someone pays you $1,000 for a website that they don't even know if they need? Or that someone who already has a website working and has a problem pays you $1,000 to solve it? Solve problems with tools that already exist. It is a huge and little explored market. You have the opportunity to work on the urgency, the need of businesses that are already active. Click on the link in the description, and I'm sure you'll like it. Come on. If none of the steps in this video managed to solve your problem, I'll now teach you how to contact the Smash Balloon support team. I'm going to leave this link that I'm here in the first comment pinned, so you can come exactly to this page where I am. By using the link, you will log in or create your account on WordPress.org, and coming back to where I am on the website now, we will click on the support page in the lower right corner. Clicking on the support page, we go to create a topic. We will create it here and send a support ticket to the plugin team. Okay, the first thing you will add is a title for your topic, which is nothing more than the error you are receiving. You will put the link to your website, and now I will leave a special tip that we prepared for you here in this video, which I will also leave there in the first pinned comment, which is this copy with this little text here, which basically goes contain everything you need to send to the support team so they can understand how your environment is working and understand what the error is and how this error is being generated for you. Okay, why are you getting this error? All you will need to do is fill in the credentials about your environment, about your website, and I will now explain to you how you should do this. The first thing you will enter is your hosting company, which in my case, I will enter Hostinger. You will enter the version of your PHP, the version of your WordPress you are using, the version of their plugin that you are using, and now we are going to place all the plugins that you have installed and active on your website. Okay, if you have a cache plugin, remember to leave it aside. Make it clear whether it was active or not at the time you received this error. Okay, as we taught you to activate WP debug, if you have received any type of message within it about the error, put it here too, because this will help the developer who will understand you to understand what you are trying to do and why this error is being generated, unless you are unable to understand what WP debug returned to you. Okay. Finally, now we're going to add two little texts. The first one explaining what you're trying to do and how it should work, and then a little text explaining what's really happening and how you're getting this error. Okay. And this is the exclusive thing that you will need to include in the message that we will send to support. Finally, we go here to the final steps, which is to put some little tags here to identify what this topic is for the support team. And now two little points before we send this message here to the support team. These first two boxes here, I don't think you will need to check them, but it's a good idea to read them. They are related to the content you wrote within your topic. I don't think you will need to check them, but give them a read. And if you are consistent, you mark them too. But I really recommend that you mark this last one here. Leave it marked because that way they will be able to notify you via email when your ticket has been answered. And now the order of the end. Everything you write here, I recommend that you write in English, because writing in English, which is the most used language in the world and is the main language used on the web, will definitely make life easier. Who will assist you here on the support team, and this will allow them to assist you in a simpler and faster way to help you resolve the issue, your problem, as soon as possible. And that's it. You can submit, and you will have sent your ticket here to the support team. You just need to wait for them to respond, and you will certainly be able to resolve any type of error you have within your environment. Beauty, and that's it. This video ends here. Thanks. Said.